What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back along to the channel. It is Rugby World Cup time. It's late night rugby. Here on the channel, we've got England up against the United States of America for the last match of day 7 and what has been the first week, the opening week of the Rugby World Cup. Now, the game is about 3 minutes. Jesus, that's gone fast. Away from kicking off, and we've gone all special. We've gone nice and what's the word? Nice and organised, shall we say, today, because we've got a little special early game treat which will get you all cranking onto, which will welcome in Paul to the channel yet again. He's back and he's ready. How you going, Paul?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Looking forward to this one. I've just noticed England are playing in red, which is going to be an interesting one for me to get my head around. Yes, we have 2 Canterbury kits, which means they're the exact same cuts, just with different coloured panels. Why can't they just do individual kits per team? Anyway, looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one. I mean, what are you expecting from the Americans going into this game?
Well, obviously, it's interesting because England have gone, this is pretty much their second string side. And yet you'd say that the USA is stronger than Tonga. So it's interesting they've gone for that route. And they put this first or the stronger team out against Tonga and then come with a weaker side against America. What am I expecting from the USA? I'm expecting them to go to the full 80. I think they're going to be a lot fitter than people will appreciate. And I'm looking forward to AJ McGinty to running quite a good kind of game plan. But I think they're just going to get overpowered in the forwards.
Now, you're an English fan, I guess, as unfortunate as that may be. But what are you expecting, or not what are you expecting, but what are your standouts going to be for the English side? Who are you looking forward to rummaging through? I mean, we had some real standouts in the game we just watched between the Italians and the Canadians. Who are we going to see really blockbuster this game for England?
Well, I mean, Cook and Seager has got to be the guy, hasn't he, out wide, the big winger. You've got to expect England to try and use him. I've got no idea what to think of, what Rudard McConaughey is going to bring, because I don't think I've seen him play before. So you've got players like him, you've got Willie Hines, you've got quite a few really inexperienced players here. They still average something like 33 caps, I think it is, compared to 25 by the USA for the starting 15s. But yeah, this is a pretty experimental side by England, so it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, because Ludlow, again, he's got less than a handful of caps. So you've got 3 players on here with actually, I think Willie Hines maybe got 6 caps, but pretty much, I mean, you've got 3 guys in this side with a handful of caps. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Hopefully they don't get stage fright or anything like that. But it's their first ever Rugby World Cup, so the whole adrenaline could be a big thing for them.
Yep, will be interesting indeed. Interesting point coming in straight away from Andreas. He's saying only disappointing thing about the World Cup so far is that no one's singing the national anthems.
They don't have a singer, do they? So if you don't have enough people in the crowd who know it, then you're in a bit of trouble. So it is a bit strange that you'd think they would have singers out there, but clearly part of the cost-cutting measure not to have singers.
I mean, England's not having any trouble.
Well, of course, we all know God Save the Queen. Yeah,
no, there's a pretty good audience going on for this one. I can't tell if it's the players or the crowd, but the crowd's putting in a pretty good nudge as well. We're not far away from kickoff. We're just going through the anthems at the moment. Full time. I mean, you're going to expect an English win. A big one. Are we going to see a following like we saw just moments ago of the Italians?
I was watching my 10 Cups. I was being a bit of a hipster, so I missed the Italian game.
48-7, I think.
Oh, jeez. England should be looking at getting the try-bonus point and no injuries. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Try-bonus point win, no injuries is what they're looking for, really, particularly Bina Filippola. Get this out, get that try-bonus point, get the game in the bag and get him off the bloody pitch.
Yeah, he's played a lot of rugby, hasn't he, in the last few days? The last few weeks or a few months, he's played pretty much every single minute of every game almost for the English as well. So, yeah, a big injury. I think these big teams, big injuries is the big thing heading into these games. But it is a late night one. I mean, here in New Zealand, it's 11:45 at night. So we're going to be going to about near on 1 a.m., which is going to be fun. But don't worry, any sponsorship from Red Bull, there you go. Nice shout out for you guys. Give me a yell. Because I'm going to need it as this World Cup goes on.
I had my good George beer earlier.
Oh, dear. No, I mean...
So I'll join you at half time. And hey, if the USA wins, then hey, come over to my channel and we'll do a post-match reaction. But I doubt it.
At 1 a.m. That'll be just blockbusting, I'm sure.
Hey, if the USA wins, I'm definitely doing it because hey, that would be the biggest upset of all time.
Do you reckon? Is that bigger than Uruguay being Fiji? I suppose it probably would be. I'd agree with you. I just had to think about that for a second, but yeah, it is. Well, we are all about to get underway. Nick Berry is the referee. I'm going to write that down so I can abuse him later on in the piece. But yeah, you're more than welcome to join us at halftime, Paul, and have your thoughts on the match. So all we can say is thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the game.
Thank you, and enjoy.
We'll talk to you
Cheers.
soon.
Talk soon. Bye.
Well, there we go. Paul is out of here. Voila! We've got scorers. We've got everything going on. We have the two sides ready for kickoff, as Paul mentioned in the build-up. England playing in red. So the USA have got the mighty whites, and Nick Berry is the referee. We are underway. Kicked off from England, and Ortig kicked down in a thunderous tackle very early on, flying through there. Who was that? Piers Francis just comes bowling on through and takes out the American player at the back. What a start we're off to already. So thanks for joining us, everyone who has come along. Hope everything is going well. You're having a good night or day or whatever time of the day it is for you guys over there. The Americans have cleared their line zone. McGinty has kicked it outside the 22 of the American half. So a solid start for the USA. But this is a cruncher of a tackle straight up from Piers Francis. Just destroying him straight through the whistle there. So hope you're all going well. Hope the stream is all working nicely as well. Seems to be going fairly straight. But it is England with the first real chance of this matchup. And they are rollicking their way through the American 22 already. Well, they've gone backwards somewhat of that play. But near the 22 they go. And Willie Hines is finding it out to Ford as they try to find a bit of width on it over the top as well. A bad pass from Joseph has struggled to find who is winging wide out there on the right-hand wing. It's certainly not McConaughey like it should be out there. As England reset again. Here's Billy Vunipola, the man that was spoken about very much at the pre of this match. They'll be hoping he will get through unscathed yet again for another week of matches for him. We are underway, so we'll change that pre-game to 2 minutes on the clock. And there is an early penalty going the way of the United States. Some good defence now. I was trying to adjust the time so I didn't actually see who that was exactly. 2 minutes in, held up in the tackle, it seems like it was. And will be a scrum feed to the US of A. There we go, we'll get the little hashy thing up there nicely. There we go. Let's get that back in the middle. Move it across, there we go. Nice and pretty. So a good defensive start there from the US of A. And they'll have a scrum feed early on. Got some comments going on the chat. I'll try to keep up with them as much as possible between action on the field and action in the chat as it's an absolutely monstrous scrum from, well, seemingly from England, but it's been penalised. And the penalty has gone to the USA. Presuming they've twisted that around. Willie Hines looks like he's already played 80 minutes out there. Andres has asked my thoughts on Reece Hodge being banned for 3 games. It's a hurtful one, isn't it? Now, it's a question mark as to, well, let's go back to the whole thing with Reece Hodge and his suspension. He pretty much timed it at the worst possible time he could have done that because just at that time the referee, Rugby said the referees aren't performing well enough. He went and got himself pretty much in the big hearing of the opening week of the World Cup. So it's, I think, unsurprising that they really crunched down on him. But I think that realistically probably is a little bit harsh. But I mean, that's what you get. You put yourself in those positions to get, what's the word? To get personalised like that, or to get your focus on you and what you've done. And that's what you get. So I'm not surprised they've cracked down on that. They really don't like those high tackle things. So it's a tough one. But I mean, Australia won't worry, really, will they? I mean, he's going to be fine. Later on, he'll miss these pool games. He'll be back for the quarterfinals. Was he going to play 1 or 2 games anyway? It wouldn't really matter. We've got a stoppage already, which is why we're talking about Reece Hodge missing 3 games, as was the comment from Andreas in the chat. It looks like it's one of the the American loosehead prop, it looks like he's injured his ankle. David Anu. Give him that extra U in his name. He doesn't look in good shape, to be fair. He looks like he's going to go off straight away. He can hardly walk. And are we going to see an early replacement for the Americans? 2.5 just over minutes on the clock. And Anu is off. Well, goodness me. That's not a good start for USA at all. That is not a good start. The reserves are all coming on to lift the big man off, and they've lost their loosehead prop after 2 minutes of the game. Quite remarkable, I have to say. So we're going to have a change come on straight away. Anu is off, so we'll put a big cross for him. And it looks like Khalifi is coming on. So that will be Olive Khalifi. How do we spell his name properly? It's a pretty simple one. So he'll come on a loosehead prop, so he'll replace David Anu and Olive Khalifi onto the field. So we just started the game. The game's been going for about 7 minutes, but we've only had 2 minutes of the actual match. So overall, a bit of an interesting start. One scrum, Anu's off, and we're waiting for a restart. Waiting to get things back underway again. So we've already had one game this evening. I was tossing up between doing the Italian-Canadian game. Decided to go with this one instead. Well, you guys decided to go with this one instead. Had a bit of a poll on Twitter and had a question asked on the Discord channel. If you're not Discord channel, go check it out. It's in the description. You can join up there as well. But it is America, USA, with the penalty, if you do remember, it was about 5 minutes ago from the scrum. And they have kicked this long down into the English half. So a bit of an early chance here to set something up for the USA. They're on the 10-metre line, English side of halfway, and they nail their line out very, very well. And it's straight out into midfield, and running at the line is Zaseki. He's going to be the battering ram. You're going to have to look out for that guy. They keep it short, and they keep it to Tony Lambourne. Here's a quick recycle play. And they charge up once again. It's simple stuff here from the Americans at the moment. It's one-off rugby. Sean's joining in. Welcome along, Sean. Feel like it will be luck if the USA get a result. England too strong. Couldn't agree with you more, but there is potential here. I mean, who would have said anything about Uruguay yesterday? I mean, we're going to keep comparing everything to Uruguay as the Americans have lost the ball and England thump it back down into their 22. But AJ McGinty is down there waiting, and he's put in not a bad little kick as well. He's just got that over halfway. So America going quite tight there, keeping it with the big boys. Trying to force their way up towards the 22. Couldn't quite work it out in the end. England pretty happy to thump it back down the other end of the field. Here's Hines out to forward, and he's just, wow, a delicate chip over the top of the covering wingers, and it's bouncing very awkwardly back here for USA. Big trouble. There's a Sifo, I think it is, who's all alone back there, and he's done a very good job to keep that out, 6 metres out. And Davies is going to play this short, and they're just jumping around like they're sidestepping their way through a bunny hole. Now, they'll get it back to Davies, who is doing the old back of the leg box kick trick, which is the thing of the Rugby World Cup this year. Everyone's doing it. He finally gets his kick away. Down to the 10-metre line, USA side, Billy Vunipola hits it at base, busts through 3 tackles, finally taken down in a crunching hit by Tony Lambourne. His quick ball out, forward, goes in the midfield, Ali Daly's up from fullback, away to Whakana Singer, he's got some forward from Piers Francis, steps inside one, offload is almost there for England, short pass, back it goes to Launchbury. They are 5 metres out now, England, and really in for a chance here. Hines goes short, and good defence there on Lewis Ludlam. Now they swing it out to the right. Ford goes straight through, and Ford will score the opening try. England in the points already. Poor defence from USA. A player slipped over, left a gaping hole in the defensive first receiver, and through goes George Ford. First try of the matchup, and it goes the way of England. There we go. We are only minutes in, and we've already got ourselves the first try of the game. Hopefully, this is not a thrashing like we just witnessed before. Straight through George Ford, too easy. He flew through unopposed completely. And he grabs the first try, and I'd imagine he will grab the first conversion as well. And I wouldn't expect him to miss this one. It's in a handy spot. We are 6 minutes in. I mean, we might as well just give it. It's right in front. I mean, God, he doesn't miss those. I mean, he's not, who was it that hit the upright? The Welsh, Dan Bigger. Dan Bigger hit the upright of his first kick right in front, so I shouldn't be too presumptuous, should I? But regardless, it is over. And after pretty much 7 minutes of the game, we have England in control of this one. Let's get the scoreline nice and right there. 5 becomes 7. Forward with all the points, and he is looking pretty hot early on as England have attacked very nicely. Should have been a try prior to that, a couple of phases before, to Tom Curry, who just didn't quite get the offload away, well, from Piers Francis, but overall, England too good on attack, creaming it through. Andreas reckons England is playing rugby challenge here. Well, they are, yeah. Offloads are plenty flying all over the place. But 7 points on the board is a good 7 points on the board. Is the Americans have done a very good job at almost holding up the English player back there. And let's look at this. It's a train of about 3 Englishmen letting that ball roll back for Willie Hines as he box kicks up. And oh, that is absolute disaster at the back there. Running up was Will Hooley, and he has gone up for it, bailed out halfway through, and the ball's hit his body on the way down and gone into touch. That's disaster. That is absolute disaster for Hooley. Don't know what he was quite thinking was going to happen there, but he's bombed it big time. Line out for England on their own 10-metre line, and they go nicely to the back. And they maul it up, as you'd expect. At the back of it is Calvin Dickey. Hines, little short side player, fucking a zinger. He's in the clear. 1 to beat again. Goes straight over the top. But it's a great tackle at the end. At the back from Scully. He got absolutely bulldozed, but he's held on brilliantly to stop the player from progressing. England still have it though, but no, it's a penalty to USA. Great work there, charging. That was Sean Davis. Well played to the little scrum half who's got in there that first phase after the break and turned the ball over. Not releasing there, charging in, and he has put in a great effort to steal that ball back. And the USA now, penalty from McGinty, cracks us down midway 22, 10-metre line, English side of the half. This was great though. They're showing replay on replay of this tackle from Blaine Scully on Joe Whakanasiga, because he just bulldozed him, but he just grabbed his big leg like he was hugging a tree. Didn't let him go through. Did not let him through at all. Good start defensively, I guess. They try to turn that over England. Oh, unlucky. Knock on coming through from Talfaditi. And it is a ball back to England. And he's kicked it away as forward, and it's a great kick too, just falling short of the sideline. And kick back from Hooley at fullback, and it goes into the hands of Daly, who gives to forward, who takes his time. He's got plenty of it, and drills this into touch, into the stands as well. Long way back, over halfway. Nicely played, nicely done. And the Americans working well early, working well so far. They go back into the American half, and Talfati will throw in. 10-metre line. We are only a couple of minutes more in, so we're not crashing too much through this. That didn't look too straight, the line out from USA, but they make do with it, and they maul. And they maul pretty well too. They break off from a couple of the English defenders. It's a real mess here. Stuck on the wrong side as it collapses. It's the American player, and it's a turnover ball to England. And Willie Hines is really having to battle to get this out. And he does eventually get it. Marler standing in first receiver, and he does what you'd expect. Charges straight into the first defender. Where it goes to Ford, who's putting up a crossfield bomb, and Daly chasing hard up against Hooley, and there's a good battle, very good battle between the two 15s. It's gone backwards, and the Americans have done good work with it. And now breaking through on the left-hand side is Asifo. And he makes good ground outside 22. Davis goes back to McGinty, and they play the territory game. Deep kick down to England's 22. Ford is directing, and Daly turns and puts up a high ball, almost hitting the roof. Easily for McGinty at the back, though. He's got that for the USA, and he charges off. A good run early through the hands. It goes very quickly. Didn't want to bar that, did Lasecki, as he fired it off very quickly. They go left side to the short side and try to make a breakthrough, but they can't get anywhere away from that. Oh, it's a penalty. Penalty to England here. I'm not sure what that's really for. The ball is in a breakdown. Not much happening. Trying to actually understand what that penalty was for. It's a penalty to England. And they're going to kick for touch. So I can only think that was for doing some ruck infringement, not releasing the ball or playing the ball on the ground. Either which way, I think that deserves a little bit more energy, red ball, if you're watching. I mean, I'm not fussy. Oh, okay. Yes, so now I see exactly what the penalty was for. The English player looks like Ludlam was over the ball. And along with being tackled high, he was still on his feet. So fair penalty goes the way of England. To the back, and it's a terrible throw. Missed completely there from Curry. And the USA get it back, and here's a Sefo around the outside. He's gone for a kick, and he's clean missed it. He has clean missed it. It's gone into touch. It's a knock on. It's a take what you like. Is now England counter-attack. Good tackle there on Ford. Big one too, coming in from Savita. They turned it over. Oh, it's all messy. The player's offside. It's terrible. It's a knock-on in the end by USA. Oh, it's just shooting themselves in the foot here, the Americans. They need to do better with the ball they've got, the possibilities they've got, because they're not making good chances of the possessions they've had so far. We've put a few more minutes in. Oh, good tackle. I mean, give credit to Joe Marler there. Sifo was breaking down the line, and he's been half tackled from Marler, and it's put him off enough to make the ball go straight from the boot, which is quite amazing. Sean reckons Pool D will be England-Argentina going to the quarterfinals, and next France steps up and beats England, which would be luck from an Irish fan. Well, Sean, I mean, Argentina's already lost to France, which makes that rather difficult as England attack, and Francis slides through and just hung on to. Good tackle by Lambourne. In the 22, that's quick ball for Hines as a little grubber goes in behind, but Marcel Braki will be back there, and he will cover that one nicely for the USA. And the ball squirts out the side. It's disaster. The breakdown again for USA. They've got to do better than that, but they luckily get away with it as it was scrappy. And I mean, let's give Nick Berry a bit of credit here. That was really just a mess. Playing it on the floor is the call. And penalty going to USA. I mean, they're leading the penalty count at the moment quite considerably between the two sides. But I'm interested, Sean, going back to your comments, how are Argentina going to qualify having already lost to France? It makes it really difficult for them. They pretty much have to beat England. And then, Pool C, yes, I didn't think of that either. You're correct, it is Pool C, not Pool D. Oh, the pools are all confusing. Regardless of that, another penalty goes the way of USA. Not rolling way out of the tackle. The English. But regardless of what pool it is, Sean, Argentina going to upset England. Argentina going to, I don't know. What are Argentina going to do here to make it their way into the playoffs or into the quarterfinals is what interests me the most. I mean, America could win this one, which would be quite an upset. McGinty's kicked this one down on a tight angle. He's got it to halfway. And the AR is giving it a whisker just inside the USA half. Andres is loving the game. It's all over the place. It is rather all over the place. The Americans need to tidy up their breakdown because it is a shambles. If they can't control their own ball, they're not going to get anywhere in this game. And that's going to be their undoing. If they can't secure their own ball, I mean, the maul like this, again, England's come through the middle of the line-out maul here. They've just dismantled the maul of USA, and there's no way that's coming out. We knew that wasn't coming out. As soon as the red jerseys went through the middle, there was no way that was coming out. 3 red jumpers all over the ball carrier at the back for the USA, and that is a turnover in the maul. Credit there going to Joe Launchbury by the looks of things. Let's have another look. No, that's George Cruz who's through there first, then Launchbury close behind, and then Joe Marler the third. I mean, that's a pretty tough little group to get away with. Tom Curry there as well, joined in late on. There was no way that was going to ground to the American side at all. 16 minutes in, and it is a tidy little 7-0 to USA. Let's update the time, keep you all in track with what is going on. USA doing a fine job so far. In America, England doing a fine job so far as well. They are actually leading. That's a big scrum. Oh, they've just blown straight through it, England. And demolished the American scrum. That's what this is going to come down to. The forward battle is well and truly on the side of England early on. The scrum is proving to be a big factor of this match already. Penalties as well, mounting up for both sides. And they kick for touch to England. Twisted around on the right-hand side, that scrum. And eventually just blowing straight through it, Dan Cole. And splitting the Americans in half. Inside the 22 now, England. Line out goes to the back, and they just hang on to it. Hines out to forward. That looks sort of forward there as the ball went to Vunipola. Over the top of his Lamborn. Just about gets his hands on it as well. Hines with another go. Oh, crunching run there. His Cowan Dickey is picked up and goes another metre or two. Now it goes out to Ludlam. Hines misses out. Again, Vunipola with another run. They won't want him to get hurt. They've got to be careful with Billy taking up all this ball. Hines again, and Cowan Dickey has another go, and he's driven backwards. Good defence there. Very good defence by Landry. Now they swing it to the open side. Joseph has some room as well. Daly getting it out. Tukanasinger tries to step inside. He's kind of overcomplicated it, and he's made a mess of it completely, and he stays 10 metres out. They open it up again. Oh, forward. Oh, that's a bit interesting there as two players from England collide into each other. It comes to a breakdown eventually. Double cut out pass. Francis trying to go through. Skips through 1, 2, 3. Oh, the man on the floor tackled him. He slipped over. Hines has been taken out. That is great defence from the USA. And I think Lisecki come through there alongside Davis, and he has just put a hit that has dislodged the ball from Willie Hines. And it will be a scrum to the USA, who are hanging in here. They're hanging in nicely. We're almost 20 minutes in. And they are doing an all right job of it so far. I mean, they're not getting thumped. We're not seeing 40 points to nil at half-time, which is very good to see. Chances of an upset? Ask Uruguay. 7-0 is only the score. So we've got another bit of a stoppage here before the scrum packs down. It's all getting a bit complicated there from England. They needed a bit more structure to those plays. So having 2 or 3 guys going straight into the same line. We're seeing replays of the forward try. Well, the defender fell over. It's a good try, though, for forward. It's the only points of the game so far. We got some South African fans in the crowd, which is interesting. But plenty of English, as you would imagine. As you would imagine as well. A lot of stoppages early on in the game. We've already had the injury, of course, as well to Anu. And getting replaced by Khalifi. For the English, they're looking all healthy and wealthy so far. As we've got another American player down. And this time, goodness me, it's the tight head prop, Lamos Satiti. He looks okay, though. He's just been wrapped up in a bit of strapping. But boy, he's got some massive legs. It's a massive crowd for this match as well. A fantastic indoor stadium. Everything needs to be indoors these days. As we've got some pretty die-hard fans in the crowd here. As the camera's getting bored of watching injured players. And it's just showing the fans in the crowd. So we look set to get back underway. Into the scrum. Now, if you've forgotten, it is USA with the feed. The knock on from Willie Hines beforehand. Scrum packs down. Davis feeds. It goes straight to the back and just saved from Doolan. It's gone back to Lisecki, who's just thundered that away off the lefty. And surprisingly, they're using him instead of McGinty. Which takes a bit of pressure off him. Was that the greatest kick, though, from the inside centre? Possibly not. Work to do there. England with a chance to attack again. They are just outside the 22. Hines goes straight out to Francis, a first receiver, who gets hammered in a good tackle there by Quilt. Quick ball again to Joseph. And he's driven backwards. That is very good defence from USA. McGinty, the man on defence this time. Oh, Cowan Dickey just about hangs on. They've run into each other again, the English. It is all a bit of a shambles. Don't know how they got away with not being penalised there with the ball carrier running into the man that passed it to him as they set up for another phase. And the Americans defending very, very well at the moment. One man, and they're getting in and out very, very quickly. Joseph tries to cut through, but a good tackle from Doolan again. They're still short of the 22. So they come right side. Joe Marler. One-on-one tackles are made very well. Hines. Oh, that is a very good tackle there. Now let's give some credit here to Marcel Brache, who has just come in and absolutely dominated that ball carry from England. Now, who was that? It looked like a big guy. Definitely a forward. And Brache has just come charging out of the line and smashed him. It was indeed. That was Joe Launchbury. He has been put up, smacked and dumped and spilt the ball at the same time. Great tackle there from Brache. That is impressive. That is very impressive. The USA survive again. Boy, man, ball and all tackle. Welcome along, Rugby and GT. Thanks for stopping by. Gotta love it. Gotta love the Rugby World Cup, don't you? I mean, what a tournament it's been. Opening week, we've had our upset. We've had some fantastic games. We've had some crunching games in the middle. What are all your guys' thoughts on the tournament so far? Interesting to see what you guys think as well. Leave your thoughts in the comments and we'll go through them in the next injury break, which will probably be not very far away the way this game's going at the moment. Uruguay, probably a fan favourite. I've enjoyed what we've seen from Russia. Really, really like those guys that just don't get the fame. They're not the flashy guys. You know, they're not the big names. They just love the sport. They get out there and they crack into it. And it's good to see the passion and the love of the game out there in these smaller nations like the Uruguay, the Russia, the USA, the Canadians before. Great to see them score a try. Disappointed overall in their effort, though, against the Italians. But they looked all right, didn't they, Italy? I'm interested to see how they'll go against the All Blacks and South Africa later on in the competition. And, of course, we've got some big games coming up in the coming days as well. Day off, but then we've got the hosts taking on Ireland, which I'm sure a lot of you guys who tune into the channel will be keen on watching that. Most likely we'll be streaming that one as well on Saturday. So make sure to tune into that one as the scrum collapses. What a surprise. To be fair, that's probably a harsh comment because the scrums have been pretty good so far. And it's going to be tough too as well for the loose head prop, Khalifi, who is going to have to play pretty much 78, 77 minutes with the injury to, what's his name, Anu. So that's going to be hard for him. Some big clashes. What else we got? Sunday coming up. Big one. Sunday's a biggie, biggie, biggie. Australia, Wales. We'll definitely be streaming that one. It's on really late. Well, not too bad, actually. 8:45 my time. This one's the latest we've done so far. It's the latest game in the competition so far. At 11:45 start time. America does win their scrum eventually. And again, it is the ball out to Lasecki, who kicks it away. It's an awkward bounce for Elliot Daly, but he makes of it. And kicks long, deep down. Waiting back there is Lasecki again. He takes his time. He positions himself nicely. And in his 22, he punches it into touch and gets it up to his 10-metre line. His side halfway, but Lasecki taking a lot of the ball early in this match. A lot of pressure coming off McGinty. But are they losing out on a few metres here or there? But their defence, sorely tested here at the moment, is the Americans. Andres, thoughts about the tournament? Tournament is good, he says, but not the best. The last two World Cups were amazing. This one just doesn't have the excitement the previous World Cups had. Interesting. That is quite interesting, I think. Tournament has been fantastic in the fact that it's been really well supported by the Japanese locals as England are just charging the small upfield. They've gone a good 10-15 metres at least for finally the Americans decide to stop it. And now here we go. Hines out into midfield and Francis is wrapped up again. Great tackle, Lasecki. Now they go out to Ford, who's in a bit of trouble because the American defence comes up very quickly on him, and he is wrapped up. I mean, three players had him wrapped up. The referee was screaming release. They didn't do it, and now it's advantage against them. England with a real big chance. Surely they'll kick here. They do. Ford, predictable as ever. The kick is average, and it's easily going to be wrapped up by the USA at the back and kicked away from Sofo. Advantage on this side. They always go for that risky 50-50 play. Ford saw something out there that no one else could see, and nothing kick that no one was chasing to the corner. Interesting call here as Ford went into this tackle. He beat the tackle of McGinty, but it was wrapped up on the second time by John Quill and Marcel Braki, and someone else was in here as well. Referee Nick Berry deciding that he was not released from the tackler because the first tackle from McGinty was not held. England are going to the corner from that resulting penalty, and they get it a good 5 metres out. A good kick in there from George Ford, and now 5 metre scrum. I think we can put the house on this one. They're going to maul this and try and push the Americans over their own line. Cowan Dickey. Oh, the cameraman's been hit by the assistant referee there. It pans away. They go to the back though, and it's a very good one from Curry at the back, and over they go. Too easy, far too simple. England drive over from the resulting driving maul, and that is our second try of the game. And that one, I think, goes to Billy Vunipola. It does indeed. Let's get the scorers up here. Left side try. Vunipola, oopsie, OLA. Billy Vunipola scores, and we have our second try of the match. And I've completely misspelled his name. Apologies, Billy. Put the O in there. Get the bits of paper off the keyboard. Sort it out. And that's their second try. Driving more, too easy for a big man like that. There was a very, very simple setup as well for the English. Set it up, bulldozed over. They've dominated the scrums, they've dominated the breakdown, and they've dominated the mauls. So anything forward orientated here, they are really creaming the Americans. And that shows because that's how they're playing the game. They've adapted very early. They did throw it wide quite quickly earlier in the game, but it slowed down a lot from there. They've brought the game down to speed. They've brought it down to their forwards. And they, from there on in, are doing the damage. Here is George Ford to add another 2 points. They are charging up here, the Americans, to charge it down, but just short. And the kick is good from Ford. 2 from 2 for him. And that will have our left side score for England up to double figures now, 14 points to 0. 2 converted tries, 1 to Ford, 1 to Vunipola. It was really poor maul defence there from the USA. And they have charged through England and grabbed their second try. Bit of form is what they'll want to see with Mr. Vunipola as well. We quickly get back underway though. No messing about here. It's a deep kick from USA, and the try scorer, Billy Vunipola, charges through. Puts up a little soft fend to get away from Cam Doolan. And they set it up in their 22 to clear their lines. Deep pass to his own try line, almost 20 metres back there for Ford. And he smashes that a long way back, just over halfway. Massive punt there, his own goal line to the halfway line. That's a 50 metre on the full clearance. If you give it the extra before it bounces, it's probably a 60 metre punt, which is something quite impressive from George Ford. USA though, 50 metres out, what can they cook up? Line out works well. Just Davis, box kick straight off it as well. Chase from Scully coming in. Oh, it's a collision in the midair. It's fallen back though nicely for Quill. And the USA have got advantage. The referee had his arm out. They go straight out. And Khalifi, the reserve prop, who's going to have a big workload tonight, charges on him. McGinty into midfield. Oh, it's a bit messy here. It's falling apart. He's brushed away a couple of defenders. Oh, he's broken the ankles of Billy Vunipola. Magical stuff from McGinty. They come out wide for Quill. And he charges through. He's still going. Another good run into the 22 from John Quill. Short ball charging. Straight in is Lamos Satiti. Quick ball again. Davis. Now they use the backs. McGinty charging at the line. Lambourne having a go. Onto the 22. USA are coming. Here they go. Left side and it's a bomb. McGinty pivots off his left foot and he kicks high to left hand side. Well taken, Assefa! And into touch he goes. Good tackle from his opposite number out there. McConaughey doing the hard work. Well, that's what they need to keep up. If that was on the try line, that's a try to USA. The kick was probably a little bit too short. McGinty getting caught out with this defence of England running and the ankles breaking of Billy Vunipola. I mean, if this was the NBA or something, that would be a pretty high played replay. Cruz takes the line out in the middle. And they, again, unsurprisingly, set up a maul. This has been the go-to plan for England as Willie Hines box kicks this one away, and it's straight to touch. It's been an average clearance there from Hines. It's got them, well, pretty much to the 22. Asefo is looking pretty pumped up about that. He had a good run. This kick, they charged up Willie Hines and they cut McGinty off. And he's kicked it left side. Very good catch too. Outdid his man, McConaughey out there. And really, it was a great chance. He wasn't so close to the sidelines. 23 metres out. They go to the back and it's stolen from England. It's all a bit messy. Vunipola's eventually grabbed it up. He slipped it back to Curry and they charge out of their 22 now, England. They're all in each other's way. Hines is trying to dance here with Vunipola as he gets his kick away. This time it's a better box kick. That is a very good box kick. Oh, big and mid-air collision again. Both players going for the ball. McConaughey flies up and he crashes straight in to Hooley at the back. No, there was a Cepho at the back. They just collide into each other. And McConaughey comes off his shoulder into touch. We are half an hour in. Let's update the time, shall we? The action is picking up. The USA nearly scoring points of their own. And a scrum will go to the USA. Don't know if that's really the option they would have wanted, though, the way this game's going. Half an hour in. 14-0, the score. Right on halfway. USA with a scrum feed. Sean Davis will feed. It's staying up just. It almost collapsed. Davis gets it out. Cuts out straight into midfield for Lasecki, who charges straight into Ludlam. Davis, another missed pass going to this time Marcel Blaki. The ball spits out. And it's another error from the USA. And Sean Davis is not happy. He has just pummeled that ball into the back stand. Absolutely drilled it. The play was over. Game had stopped. And he's just pulverized it straight to touch. Not happy at all. They know the chances are here for them too, the USA. But they're just not finishing their chances off. They're not playing well enough rugby, which is a real shame. Dropping the ball too much, throwing away the chances too much, and it's costing them early on. We have more breaks. Yeah, I'm interested in your thoughts here. Andres has just come in the chat. England doesn't look too good. Don't think they're going to go any further than the quarterfinals. I mean, defensively, on this game that we're watching right now, the USA have defended very, very well. We can't take anything away from them there. They are playing a good defensive game. They're shutting down the English attack. They're rushing when they feel they can. They're just holding their line when they can't. They're hitting their one-on-one tackles, which is crucial, and they are missing some, but not too many. So overall, I think USA defence is actually nullifying this English attack. And like you say, Andres, is that because it's not a good attack? They talk about all these, big superstars of the future. The McConaughey's out there who I haven't even said his name apart from a couple of kick chasers. Whakanesinga's had a couple of goes on the left wing. Ultimately, has looked a little bit as if he's not sure what to do, especially that last chance where he had a bit of space, ran out of space, just kind of dallied around. There's a big scrum here from England. They get their penalty again. Well, they are all over the forward battle, the English, and that is proving to be the big difference here early on. Illegal scrummaging is the call, apparently. How do you go for that? But yeah, England's attack, they're not taking their chances too well, are they? They should have scored probably if they were being clinical, another try or two. And the chances they have had, George Ford's try, obviously just slipping through with the defender falling over, opening up a big hole, and then the maul. I mean, the line-out maul. I think we're going to see probably 2-3 more line-out tries from that maul from England in this match alone. Better forward pack. I'm interested to see how that would go. What do we got with England? They're playing the USA here. They've already played one match as well. This is coming out of Pool C. So they've beaten Tonga and they're playing the USA. So they've still got two, I should say, really, really big matches. France and Argentina. That's their tough ones. Unsurprisingly, they've gone straight to the maul here from this line out, England, and they are just bulldozing through metre after metre and over for the try. Well, that is tough for USA. They cannot defend that maul, and it's another try. Who scored this one? It is Cowan Dickey this time. Well, there we go. That is try number 3, and it's kind of frustrating because, frustrating for the USA, because if it wasn't for this maul, they would actually be competing in this match quite well, because they are defending well, they're clearing well, but when it comes to a scrum or it comes to a maul, they're nothing. They're not even in this match at all, not even in the game. We've got another point, a 5-pointer there for England. It's up to 19 points to 0. And I feel like we're going back to the last game where we're going to be just hoping and praying that USA will be able to score a try. The crowd will get behind them and they'll be like, yeah, go USA, score a try. But ultimately, England don't want to see that. Ford with his third shot at goal. Can he make it 3 from 3? Maybe it's the red uniforms. Taking his time, it's out on the right-hand side. Play 10 in from touch. Again, USA chase hard as Ford takes his time, and boy, that was close. It's hit the upright. Well, that's worth it. Well played, USA. Great chase on the charge, and that pressure has completely bamboozled Ford. His kick was a little rushed at the end. They were so close to charging that down, and it's put it straight. It has put it off the upright, and it stays at 19 points to 0. That's the disappointing thing. Andreas reckons it's the only way they score is the maul. The rest of their game is pretty poor. Attack's easy to read. I can't disagree with you there, because USA have done an excellent job of reading their attack. What they need to do is stop this maul. It's straight off the kickoff. England have mauled it upfield just about all the way to halfway. Why can't they stop the maul? In the end, eventually, Tom Curry's fallen over, but the referee is going back for the penalty, and we're going to see cards come out soon if this stays this way. USA are getting just dominated at the maul, and sooner or later, someone's going to get in trouble if they don't stop this legally. Straight off the kickoff, they went up 10, 15 metres, no problems. They just can't slow it up enough. They need to stop it straight away. They need to get players on the carrier, get players stopping it, halting it, structure to the maul before they can do anything. Once England get that rumble on, it's all over. It really is all over, and it's a bit of a shame because USA have been all right. They've been all right. But this area of the game, they have been completely brutalised. England have kicked a touch, and they're, again, about 35 out from the USA line. Cowan Dickey, the try scorer, throws to the back, and it's easy take there from Cruz. Oh, looked like a forward pass out to Francis, who was dominated in the break, in the tackle again. Trying to hold him up for the maul. It doesn't work that time. Cowan Dickey's got it out on the left. You're right, exactly what you're saying, Andres. When they go wide here, they are no chance at all. They're getting shut down. Ford's deciding to kick as well, which is a good little play. It gets them in the 22. But 2 phases into that back line, and it is just not working out for them. They're shut down quickly. Pierce Francis is getting dominated in the tackle. It's putting pressure here on the USA, though, and they're going to clear this, and they'll be lucky if they get it outside the 22. The problem is they can't win their line out. They can't win the scrum. They can't stop the maul. And that is becoming an area of concern. They do win this one, though. Finally, they take it at the back. And Davis, he's just going to box kick this if they can squeeze it out. The ball is somewhere in the middle. Launchbury looks like he's got his eye on it. Now they get it. Davis gets his kick away and gets wiped out from Ludlam at the same time. It's a bit dangerous here at the back. England make a meal of that completely. The ball's come back and fouled and it's been knocked on. What a chance here for Tony Lambourne. It was a shambles by England. Two players going for it. They both said yours. And the ball hit the ground into the English player, bounced up, and straight into the hands of Tony Lambourne, who could have scampered away, the former Stag. That would have been magnificent. So that's gone off Vunipola. It's bounced straight up in the air off his chest, and he saved it from touch. And, such an unfortunate end there. And Lambourne, he knows it as well. Frustration from coach and player. A little bit of territory would have done them well there in the USA. On the 10-metre line, England side of the half. Scrum, which, we all know what's going to happen here, don't we? Even if you're not watching, if you're just listening, do you want 3 guesses? Because you probably only need 1. It does reset though, so off it straight away. They get a chance to reset to the USA. Not their feed, not their pudding, but another shot at life. Can they get anything from this? Can they fight back, USA? We are almost at half time. My goodness me, where's the half gone? Let's update the time as England get it in now very, very quickly. And crossfield kick from forward of Thongana Singer. Oh, big collision out there. Ball has gone backwards and it's finally into touch by USA. Wow. There was some collision out there. Was it Hurley? I think it was Hurley and Thongana Singer who just went flying into each other. Both were struggling to reach the ball. Boofa, that is a cruncher. It is too. And they're both getting frustrated here. Oh, collision. Both landing fairly safely, so hopefully the referee needs to get involved in this play. Nice little kick, though, from Ford as it goes to Cruz in the middle of the line-out. And again, they maul. This time it's stopped, and it's not a penalty. Woohoo! Go, USA. Good work. Now they use the backs, and Thongana Singer up into the line, and he's taken down too easy. Boom! There goes the halftime gong. And it's still England looking for another point or two before the break. We'll update this to 40 minutes as Daly's up in the line. He puts a little chip on the top. It's got chase from Joseph. Here he goes, and he floats it in. It's a knock-on from Thongana Singer. Oh, that is terrible. Terrible for England. Joseph did so well to drag that in. And the one-handed offload, trying to find his left winger, could not do it. And that is half-time. It is England in control, in command, at 19 points to 0 over the USA. Well, one interesting first half of rugby. What are your guys' thoughts on the match so far? It's pretty cut and dry, isn't it? England, maul, England, set piece, England forwards. USA, everything else, they are all over this game so far, which has been quite interesting. I think in the backs, USA probably the better side, but hands letting them down drastically in that part of the matchup. 19-0 though, convincing by England? I don't think so at all, but 3 tries already in the bank. They'll just want one more, get their bonus points, throw all their reserves on, get everyone out there, and just cruise on through the rest of the game because they have bigger fish to fry later on in the tournament. So they'll want to go with it from there. Looks like we're going to have the comments from Paul back on the show. Let's see what he's got to say about the match. Welcome back, Paul. Welcome back. Let's fade you across to see what Paul thinks again. How you going?
I'm good. Yourself?
Very well. Very well. Very well. It's 19 points to nil. It's half time. It's one-way traffic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is one-way traffic, isn't it? It might be 19, might be sort of only 19 points to nil, but that nil is very much a nil. That it's not like the USA shelled a couple of opportunities and could have had points. I don't think we really saw them. They didn't really have an opportunity to score any points in that half. Yeah, England just controlled the game very nicely.
All right, so I want to talk about the USA. I want to take the positives from the lesser side, if you will. Defence, very good. The backs, all over it. I think that the outside back, or the backs, full stop, defensively have been the better of the two over England. Definitely, I think if they're going to take any positives from this, it's what pretty much 9 to 15 have done for this team.
It isn't. Chatting with Ryan Nixon on Twitter, he was saying, look, England haven't been playing the offloading game that they did when they cut Ireland to pieces. And he's saying, look, he thinks that the USA have been wrapping them up pretty well. So not only are they getting the tackles in, but they're singling the ball in. They're not letting the England players get their arms free and get the ball away. And we saw that kind of towards the end there, where Jamie Joseph tried to get the ball free for Cokanasiga, but just couldn't get a decent. Wasn't a decent offload.
Yeah, but it is obviously the forward battle was much different. But I guess we'll talk about that with England. American standouts in that first half. Lasecki, pretty good. Marcel Braki, pretty good. Isefo, I think, really good as well. But the sad thing is, it's all backline players, isn't it? And their forwards have been well below par.
Yeah, I'm not actually below par, but it just
outclassed,
outmuscled, basically. I'm a bit surprised to see Paul Lasecki kicking so much. I thought AJ McGinty would take ownership of that, take responsibility of that a lot more, but he hasn't done. Paul Lasecki's done okay, but those people that have seen him at Harlequins will know better than me. But he's someone that when I saw him playing in the MLR 2 years ago, was very much a power runner. You kind of Mar Nonu kind of style guy, get you over the gain line with power, and obviously comes from a NFL background. Well, rugby before he played rugby football, but NFL was where he was professional. And you got to say that I wouldn't have thought that kicking was really one of his key skills. But he's done okay. But he's definitely not getting the distance that someone like that Ford is doing from the other side.
Yeah, I think it's taking a lot of the pressure off McGinty, though, isn't it? But I mean, I don't think he was really getting shut down. I think he's getting his balls away fairly good. I don't think there's any trouble there. They really need to mix that up. But it's interesting they're going with that. I do think they're losing a bit of ground each kick, aren't they? It seems to be maybe that extra 10 metres or so. Could possibly make a difference when you're getting a line out or conceding a line out, 5 metres out of your own 22 as opposed to halfway. Can make a bit of a difference come the full time the matchup. But sadly for USA, also losing Loosehead Prop early. Do you think that's going to affect them long term, having Khalifa able to play pretty much 78 minutes now?
Well, yes. Every single scrum they've been going backwards at a rate of knots, haven't they? So he got injured in the first scrum, and I think one of the things England might be doing is trying to just nurse his replacement through the games, because they don't want to go down to depowered scrums. So it's like, don't injure this one, boys. Very sad for the guy. I hope it's not as bad as it looked, but that appears to be his tournament over, basically in the first 2 minutes of being on the pitch.
Sad times. All right, let's talk about your England. Let's sum up England, shall we? Better forward pack, they can maul, and good scrum.
That's it, isn't it? It's basically a scrum, penalty, kick, line out, maul, march down, penalty, line out, maul, score. As what it's reverted into. Look, we've got 3 tries, so one more. We'll get the try bonus point, so they're definitely on track for that, and you get to say that they're definitely going to get that in the second half, aren't they? I thought what we actually saw early on was much better from England, where they were using the backs. So they were spotting where the space was, they were spinning it wide, and getting players free. And then not Joe Ford. Joe Ford's the other, is the young brother, but Ford is fantastic on front football, and of course he's getting that today with this pack, and so he's going to run. He's going to look $1 million. He's kind of a Moanga kind of style player who, as soon as the pack starts going backwards, he isn't quite so flash, and he's a player that you can pressurise in kind of like maybe a Elton Yang kind of way. But so yeah, no, he's looking $1 million. He's running the show really well, and as soon as he spots a mismatch, he's going to go for it just like he did for his try. And when England was spinning it wide, they were looking dangerous, looking good. But I've got a funny feeling it's going to be one of these ones where just do what we have to do, boys, which is line out mauls and basically everything else. Who cares? Just can't be bothered.
Yeah, you kind of noticed that as soon as they got that domination and that sort of clicked in it, they're like, wow, this is actually working. Let's just keep doing that continuously. I don't agree with you, though, about their backline. Ford's run all right, but they look kind of clueless when they're going outside of him because that American defence is shutting off the angles and it's making them go into a corner, think, uh-oh, I need to do something else here, turn around, uh-oh, I can't go that way, and then all of a sudden they're just like, oh, well, I'm stuffed. They kind of seem to be a bit lost when they go their backs. Piers Francis, I think, has been shut down like a really bad takeaway shop out there. He's getting creamed. Thogana Singer's getting very little ball. He kind of looks out of ideas because they're shutting him down in the corners. It just seemed to be, I think, how to describe it, just pushing him into corners and leaving them no option for support, which just makes them have to kill the ball.
I think it might also be an element of some of the backline players not communicating very well. I mean, obviously they're not a first choice backline that's played lots together. And secondly, Piers Francis seems to be trying to do too much. Yeah. Kind of like, look, I should be the England number 12, first choice 12. Look at everything I can do. No. Draw the player and pass the ball. It's not overly difficult. Don't try and beat 3 or 4 players, which is what he's trying to do a few times. So I think there's also perhaps a little bit of kind of, hey, look, we got a couple of tries up. Now I want to get my try. To me, Piers Francis is overplaying. JJ's not had much ball, and neither of the wingers, as you say. Elliot Daly, well, all he's done is collect kicks.
He's had a pretty easy night so far. Got an interesting comment, though, that I was saving till near the end from Simon, who was saying France will beat England. What are your thoughts on that?
France can beat England. Will they? Not necessarily. No, I don't think. France definitely go in as underdogs massively. Okay, and I mean this, apart from Billy Vunipola and Elliot Daly, none of these players will be starting against France. And Curry. So there's 3 players on the pitch who are going to start against France. That's it. So don't look at this side and go, okay, this is what France have got to deal with. No. France have not got to deal with this at all because this is not what they're going to face. Don't go down that route. France. If France put in a full game like they did in the first half against Argentina, they will beat England, and they'll beat an awful lot of other people as well. But that's a massive if, and I can't see them doing that on a regular basis.
Oh, it'll be a good match anyway. Regardless, it will be a great game. I'm kind of looking forward to that one whenever it does come around. We're sort of mentioning a bit what's coming up in a few days as well. Got some cracking games. Of course, Sunday we've got Australia versus Wales, which is probably the big one. I reckon since kind of the All Blacks in South Africa. It's one of those. It's one of the kind of 5 games, isn't it? Or it was one of the sort of kind of like 4 games. So you had New Zealand, South Africa, you had Ireland, Scotland, which is 1 and 2 in that group, and then you've had Australia, Wales. Now the England group's a bit more difficult because you've got England, Argentina, and France. But it's one of the big sort of 3 or 4 games that are going to decide first and second in pools. Yes, it is a big game. The Americans are getting absolutely ripped to shreds by old Gary Gold in the sheds. He is giving them one hell of a rack up. What are you expecting in the second half? Are you going to see a different USA, you reckon, or just going to be same old England, get their 4th try and shut down?
I mean, I can't see how the USA's pack is going to suddenly gain an extra 2 stone and become more powerful. And wow, he is, isn't he? He's going absolutely. So basically, all England got to do is just play a power game, and it's all over.
We're going to see England, when they get their fourth try, make some changes, take off, like say, those important guys that they've got. Then are they going to maybe try and play a bit more expansive, get some entertainment for the poor old fans out there, even the sad little English ones who, think this is going to be the greatest victory of the World Cup?
I'm not sure anyone thinks it's going to be very huge for the World Cup, but I expect. I mean, Billy Vunipola is the one guy I just want to get off the pitch as quickly as possible while he's still fit. Everyone else I'm not really that fussed about. So he's the only one that really has to get subbed off. But do I expect England to throw it around? I think when they get quick ball, absolutely. But I don't think they're going to. I don't think you'll see them do it excessively. I think they'll just stick with the line out maul and just let the forwards enjoy the game.
Finally, last point from me. Will the crowd roar into action, get in behind the Americans, and get them a try like they did with Canada a couple of hours ago?
Actually, I missed that game because I was being a hipster watching the Liechtenstein Cup, so I'm not sure about that. The crowd are going to love it. The underdog getting a try, okay, and as long as they don't get close to England, which I can't see them doing, the England fans will cheer along with everyone else because hey, it's a bit of fun. So I think yes, the crowd will get behind them when that happens. But I think you'll find actually that a lot of that crowd is English because I think they have a good travelling support, and so yes, if it got close, I think you'd still hear a lot of English support in that crowd. I don't think it would all get behind America.
Well, it's interesting too, the amount of South Africans that are at this game. That is quite interesting to see all the Springbok jerseys in there. Springbok jersey, but, the English flag on the face, it's like cross-contamination there between the two. I don't think some people will be too pleased about that. But, yeah, I think we're not far away from getting the game back underway. Any final thoughts you want to mention? Looking forward to in the second half?
I'm looking forward to Cockney seeing a try. I put $2 on him to score a try, so I want to see him score a try. But apart from that, yeah, no. I want to see McGonaghy. I want to see more of him, and also Ludlam, because again, two guys who haven't had much rugby. What's Piers Francis doing at this level? Seriously, I mean, I watched him for 2 seasons at the Blues. No.
Yep. I agree with you on that. Yeah, it was pretty painful. I mean, any player in the Blues is pretty painful to watch normally in the way they're going. But it's the whole thing, isn't it? He's a New Zealander. He must be good at rugby. Any English clubs out there? I'm free and available.
I'm not, because I would survive about I would survive until the first time I got tackled in training. At which point I'd be broken, and I'd be off to hospital. So, I'm fully aware of as John O'Connor said yesterday, I have a body for tiddlywinks.
Oh, goodness me. We are back underway, however. The second half is about to kick off, so we'll bid you adieu, Sir Paul.
Adieu.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for having your say, having your thoughts, and we'll catch you later on.
Join you for a couple of minutes after the game.
Go for
Join
it.
you.
Dial on in. We'll talk to you then.
Bye.
See you. Choppy and change. We are back. Back to flying solo. Back to the second half of this game. And let's get things all cranking on here. We are in the second half. We are 41 minutes into this, well, somewhat one-sided matchup between these two sides. But it's the USA who are trailing England by 19 points to 0. And hopefully, we might see the boys in white, who are not England, score some points in the second half. This is an early kick away after the kick-off from England, and it's gone back to McGinty, who's back at fullback for the US of A. And look how many Englishmen are back for these kicks. Ford and Daly and Singer all back there, and they thread it from the right to the left. And to be fair to the USA, they've got a very good defensive line sitting there ready and waiting for them. Now here's a bit of width on it for England, and Joseph has a lot of room. He beats his man as well, finds Curry, who's tackled by a man already on the floor. McGinty fell over and he just tripped over him. So pick and go. There's actually reserves on as well already. We'll have to go through that and find out who has actually come on. It looks like Kyle Sinclair is on off the bench. So he's come on at halftime, as well as Alice Genge as well. So we see change of Marla and Cole both coming off the field. So a change at both props as England making their way into the USA half. There's a change actually coming up on the screen for once. So we'll make note of these changes, and Sinclair on for Cole. As the USA defend valiantly again. Now here's Sinclair. Oh, and Vunipola is off very quickly. Vunipola is off as well. And that has seen Wilson onto the field. So big changes as Daly breaks around down the left-hand wing, gets a one-handed offload out wide to Joseph. It's breaking down. USA defence very, very good. If only they could hold it a bit better in the forwards, this could actually be a decent little matchup. But it is England who are using their back line a lot more here as a charge forward by Wilson. An advantage, not rolling out the tackle, and a knock-on. Probably straight after advantage, Joe Launchbury drops the ball, and a penalty for England. So what other changes have happened here? None that I can see. Just Mark Wilson, Kyle Sinclair, and Alice Genge on the field. And so change at the two props and at number 8. So as we're talking about at halftime with Paul, Billy Vunipola is the man. Everyone wanted to get off the field from England as soon as possible. And we're having a bit of a stoppage here. Oh dear, don't tell me. It's another prop going down for USA. Looks like Lama Satiti, who is... Lama Satelli, I should say, down with a knock again. It's how many props do they need to get injured? I mean, Anuru got injured straight away. Khalifi's had a couple of knocks. Now Lama Satiti has had a knock. And there's another player getting attention in the USA backline as well. It's dropping like flies, which has been a bit of a tale from this World Cup so far. Injuries are certainly telling from all sides. Knocks, injuries, players out for games, suspensions now as well. And the USA struggling to keep players fit, it seems. Struggling just about get men on the field. The referee's counting the players they've got. I'm not sure if they're planning on making some changes or not. They are indeed. 18 is coming on already. That looks like Paul Mullen. And 23 is on as well. So Mullen coming on. So that is Lama Satili, who has come off. Changes all over the place here at the moment. Very early on. And Mike Teo come running on as well. He's come on for Hooley. So he's come on possibly at fullback, I would guess. Is that gone? That's gone in goal. The penalty kick from forward, finally we get back underway, has gone dead in goal. Huge mistake. Huge mistake there from forward. Proving he is human after all. So let's get back to it. Teo is on for Hooley. Unbelievable. So it's a 22 dropout for the USA. Unbelievable. What a let-off that is. Would have been a great start for England if they could have got that position on their side. A deep 22 dropout down to Curry, who slips, runs straight into Cowan Dickey. Again, how they get away with that, running into their own players, is interesting enough. As here's a good run from Lewis Ludlam. Gets them to 10-metre line, USA side halfway forward. Flat ball, Wayne Launchbury. It's dropped, and it's kicked ahead by USA. The big chase is on here from Doolan, but it's covered back. It looks like it's squirted back out. Fucking this thing has got it, but I'm sure I'd like to see if there was actually a drop ball of some sort there by England, because the ball did squirt free. So run in for Wilson. And they slow it all down here. And they slow it down for Willie Hines. Sinclair with the big leg. They're not actually box kicking here. They set out for the box. But now Daly looking out to Joseph. Missing, cutting out straight. Goes to Ludlam, who's finding himself way out in the right-hand wing. Oh, cuts out the forwards, who didn't look too happy about that. And running at it is Launchbury. Oh, and a really dodgy tackle there on Sinclair. Ankle grabbed as he was picking and going from that ruck. All got a bit messy there. As now they fire it out into the backs again. Again started it away to Cal and Dickey. A lot of phases in a row here already for England. 19-0 is the score. We're 45 minutes into the game. Slowing it down. Boy, they're slowing it down here big time. Just outside their own 22 here, England. And Hines is making an absolute mockery of this. Taking about 3 hours to get that box kick away. Waiting for it is McGinty. Oh, the American player and supporter slipped over, and McGinty didn't give it to him, luckily. He has rolled forward a little bit, and they somehow hold on to it. Davis gets it away. And a run through midfield. Into Teo it goes. And he spins and twirls his way up towards halfway almost. Now it goes deep. Back to McGinty, who kicks looking to get over the head of Joseph. No, it's not going to sing it back there. He's not got it, and it's bounced end on end. 5 minutes out now. Daly's got a rush a kick. And he gets it away into touch. And USA go quick. They fire it straight in. Here's Teo. He's going to run. He steps inside, beats his man as well. Great run there from Teo. My Teo really carving this game up at the moment. Involved. Here's a run from McGinty. Ducks inside the tackle. And sets it inside the England half. Davis, sweeping away one tackle there. But coming back was Cruz to make the ankle tackle. And a penalty to England. Ludlam over the ball. And that has been secured. Not releasing in the tackle. Ludlam over it very early, very quickly. And the USA lose possession. And going for touch will be Ford. Well, that's happened very quickly. 19-0. USA just don't look like they're going to score a try. They just don't look like they're going to get in the right areas of the field and make something of this, which is a real shame. Because this would be potentially an interesting matchup. Yeah, Ludlam wrapped him up very quickly. And look at the support play getting in there as well. Khalifi trying to bunch him out of the way. Now here is Ganch going for a run straight off the back of that line out. And they're not mauling it for once, which is good to see. Sinclair goes short. Wilson half breaks the line, but McGinty drags him down on the 22. Fast ball to Ford. Getting it out to Curry. Joseph. Oh, twirls! What a play from Joseph! Beats 3 defenders, and he falls a metre short. Ford, Singer, try! England are over. Quickly recycle ball, and the try is scored. Bonus point in the bank, and it is a try to big man Joe Singer. Well, there you go. Let's sort this out. Try time is there. 4th try for England. And let's spell the name right, shall we? That dummy from Joseph was brilliant. He went to pass, twirled. Everyone just completely off the ball. And there was a quickly recycled play. Singer right there. Just plops over. And a typical winger's try there. Not doing anything special. Just falling over. Let's spell his name right. A-N-A-S-I-G-A. There we go. I think I've spelled that right. That's what the World Cup site says. Try time it is for the big winger. And will we see 3 out of 4 from Mr. Ford? We can update our scoreboard if we do. Are we going to see the big charge here from USA as well? That's really what we want to see. Taking their time. They set up. They're charging. Here they come. Big chase from USA again. And again, he's blown it wide. This is quite remarkable. 2 out of 4. The charge down is working super effectively for USA. I mean, it's not helping them get points on the board, but it is helping them stop the conversion. So 24 points to zip. Let's get that score nicely in the right place. There we go. And the time, we might as well update that as well while we are here. And we've got quite a few fans here leaving the stadiums already. We're 50 minutes in. And 24-0. So 2 out of 4 from George Ford is certainly not a stat that he'll be too happy with. Mark Wilson is having a great start to this half. Charging forward, straight through. And to the 22. He's going to set this up. Box kick from England. See, more changes here. That certainly wasn't Willie Hines who was kicking that. It looks like more changes at scrum half as well. Young's possibly on the field. As the ball has been kicked straight back from USA. Let's get the changes on here. Oh, it's a great run straight through here from Genge. Gets the ball back to Cruz. And a turnover. Turnover to England. Turnover to USA, I should say, from England. The ball's back as we've got more substitutes on. 21 is on for USA as well. It's the offload from the little kicker, so a bit messy. It's all breaking down as we've got all the changes on here as well. Courtney Laws is on the field for England as well. Let's go through these changes. Goodness me. Laws is on the field. Ruben de Haas is on for USA. It's all going on here. Early changes. So we've only really got half an hour to go. This has gone rather rapidly. Bonus point for England. That'll make them happy. And I think pretty much they should be docking this bench. So Atolje's not Atolje. Laws is on. Atolje's not even in the squad. What am I talking about? He's on as Laws. The question is, who is he on for? Looks like he's packing down on the loose edge side of the scrum. So that looks like he'll be on for Launchbury. And Wilson's on the field as well. The changes at prop. And, of course, for the USA. There we go. There's a change. Now it comes up and shows me. He's been on the field for about 5 minutes, guys. Come on. So, De Haas is on as well. And looks like Peterson is on as well in 19. So he's come on the second row by the looks of that for the USA, for Civita. And here is Owen Farrell is coming on for Francis as well. So she's all happening. I'd imagine that will maybe stay as it is, 4 to 10, Farrell at 12, as we've seen quite a bit already. And we have, of course, Peterson on. Let's get that change in the books. For the USA, here's Youngs. A little bit of a pick off the back of that scrum. It's a solid one. They're not playing the old scrum forward game anymore. It's back there as T.O. who turns and hammers it straight to touch. Shocker kick there from T.O. And the USA is starting to fall apart here. They're not getting their clearances. They're not getting anything right at all. Willie Hines, night's done. Piers Francis, night's done. Joe Launchbury's night's done. And we got more changes for the USA as well. Nick Savita's night's done. What else is going on here? They've not got actually many players left to come on here. The line out for England goes to Cruz. And the ball spills out, and surely that will be a knock-on. It is. Knock-on by England, and that will be a scrum to the USA. But is it the scrum that they want? Is it really what they want at all? As you look at it now, when they sit here with Genge, Cowan, Dickey and Sinclair on the field, I don't know if they've really got much of a chance of the scrum even still. So Anthony Watson is the only man on Jack Singleton to come off the bench. Oh, it's a blood replacement for Hooley. So Hooley is back on. Teo has gone back off. Goodness gracious me. 10 minutes in the blood bin there for Hooley. Keeping up with the changes. Let's keep up with the time as well. We've wasted about 4 minutes here setting a scrum. As the USA straight out of the scrum, in and out they go. And to Lisecki, who charges forward. And now we're going to see the box kick come out from De Haas. Goes high, and the chase is very good. Knocked back for the USA and knocked on straight away. They just can't keep hold of the ball as England set off again. Advantage on this side as Ludlam gets a good run, and he's got Youngs who offloads beautifully to Farrell. In by 22 now, wide ball. Was that a forward pass? We'll go back and we'll have a look later on, I'd guess. McConaughey charges into the 22. The referee's got no inches at all. It's USA putting big pressure on the breakdown. Well, they don't find the ball on their side. Youngs away to Laws. Goes another few metres forward. England looking for another try. Knocked on. Knocked on there from Sinclair. And no mention of the pass at all. Now, to me, it looked a bit forward. It was a bit flat, a bit forward. But it's gone through anyway. Good little breaks all over the place. That surely was a forward pass from Youngs to Farrell. The outside backs of England have been pretty well dealt with. There's the dodgy old pass. Poor old Cole Sinclair, it's a long way down there for him. And he couldn't quite get his fingers around it. We are trekking into the 27th of September now. That's right, it is after midnight here in New Zealand. We are well and truly ahead of the game. USA with the scrum, and England try and put pressure on, and they do. They charge it backwards. The ball is going nowhere out of there, and England get the penalty. The loose head going down at the front row. And a penalty going to England. No surprise here. The big guns are on. Genge and Sinclair are on the field, and those guys certainly know how to scrummage. USA now conceding 8 penalties to just 4 by England. That's a big, big stat as well. And they've opted for the scrum. So about 10, 12 metres out from the USA line, England will have a scrum feed. And having a look at the way they're set up here, Elliot Daly is standing behind George Ford, right behind the scrum. So they've got 2 guys standing directly behind the set piece. And support, of course, going left and right from those 2. So where they split, where they go, will create the space. Defensively, I'd like to see how USA is setting up for this as well. So if those 2 guys split one way together, it's going to create an instant overlap. That's going to put big pressure on the flankers to get back and defend. And you see straight away the USA back rowers are splitting to their backline defenders, trying to put a plan together here. Tony Lambourne, especially going out there. Scrum, packs down again, and England's gone straight down, but is that down from USA? It looked like England collapsed on that straight away. Another scrum will pack down. How many scrums do we want to see? I don't know. Why not another 30? 24-0. England arguing they wouldn't want to collapse it, but I mean, if you get another penalty, you take another scrum, then you give a guy a yellow card. Scrum, setting up again. 57.5. It's a straight penalty now. They tap and they give it straight to Ford. Running hard the line is Farrell. Puts it back inside to Wilson, who's been strong, but he's held up a good tackle. 5 metres short now. Youngs left for Laws. Big clash there with Braque. They're just a metre or 2 short now. Youngs charging at the line there was Cruz. They didn't give it to him. Now they go wide. Joseph, support McConaughey out wide. Shimmies inside and scores. There's the try. That's what England wanted, and that is certainly what McConaughey wanted out on that right wing. Finally getting it out there. Farrell proving a big difference in the side. 29-0. Let's update the scoreboard. Quick tap from the scrum penalty. They went to the left side from there, and that is where Ford and Farrell went. They split in. Farrell come back towards where the scrum was set, and that set the ball up 5 metres out. Then they swung it away to the right. Quick hands through the back line. Joseph with his speed and deceptive ability, getting away and creating room around the defenders for McConaughey, who just spun underneath the tackle of the one defender left and dots down for the try. Another try for England. So let's get that up. Let's spell his name right, because it's a bit of a shocker as well, isn't this one? Right. Have I spelled that right? It looks right to me. So Ford is still taking the conversion. It's the 5th try of the game for England. And this one is way out wide. Way out wide on the right-hand side. Pretty much 2 metres in from touch. He's 2 from 4. This one, they don't charge, and he nails it. Right between the uprights. Great kick there from George Ford. And the scoreline escalates up to 31 points to 0. I mean, what a shame. At least Canada scored a try. Will we see one back here for the USA? Could have done better that from Asifo on defence, but sadly, not this time. What are we looking like time-wise? We are pretty much 1 hour in. And it is a kickoff that's not gone 10 metres bad to worse for the US of A. Short kickoff from McKenzie. Again, sets it up. Halfway scrum. Really not what they want at all. Really not what they want. Plenty of changes from the Americans already. The injuries will be a concern, especially the front rowers. Losing Anu to a big injury right off the whistle. And then later on, Lamasatili going off as well. So we've got a change for the USA in the back line. Looks like it'll be Laseki making his way off. And who's left? Bryce Campbell, can I presume, will be coming on the field? Or is it Mike Teo coming back on? And we have another change. Hammer Sice coming on for the USA in the back row. And it is Bryce Campbell coming on as well. So Campbell coming in for Laseki. And the change for Lambourne as well. Running Gomahais coming on for him. There we go. Changes made on the scoreboard. 31 points to 0, an hour gone. We've got 20 minutes left of this one. As the match old wears down. As England have a scrum, centre field, right on halfway of course. And they pull a little grabber kick through, looking to put pressure on inside the USA 22. Story of the game, it has been rinse and repeat for England. Too easy for them at the moment. Elliot Daly up in the line. Takes it up to the line. Puts in a little grubber in through. Gets the ball rolling end on end. Too easy. And now they can put pressure defensively on this USA set piece. Overthrown to the line out. Picked up from Ludlam, who gets rid of 2 defenders but finally gets dragged down. Youngs goes short. And they charge on in through Laws again. Now it's Ford. Oh, he's missed everyone there. Farrell didn't want it. Joseph eventually runs back with Farrell to grab it. And they lose 10 metres or so. Ford to play scrum half and he charges it straight up. Curry. Into midfield again. They keep it alive and Ford taking on the line. Half break. Now Youngs is back. Sinclair inside ball. A little bit of fancy play there to Wilson. Now they swing to the right. Inside ball. Looking for a way through is Curry again with another run through there. Slow ball coming back. Youngs is going digging for gold. He finds it as well. Charging hard at the line. Going nowhere through there. Good defence from the USA. Ford looked like a forward pass. It's a double knock on. And we've got another scrum. Oh, yeah. More scrums. USA defence has been really good. English fans, I mean, they should be pretty pleased with this result. 31-0, I mean, what's not to be happy about with that? But the sides look rather one-dimensional. And in the back line, they have not looked effective. The USA has defended this brilliantly. So, they come up against a big forward pack, a good forward pack. This could be an interesting matchup for England. So, they'll come against France, who will probably cause them a bit of trouble. Argentina probably not in the pack. They'll definitely have them over that. Interesting times. I'm looking forward to those games. England and France and England and Argentina. They should be crackers. We'll see who will qualify top out of Pool C. As we have more stoppages in the game. It's kind of washing out to nothing now, isn't it? USA, they look done. They look spent. Doesn't look like there's going to be much in the way of this game for them. They would have loved to score some points. But it does not look like they will be going to. What a shame. Potentially a really good matchup. But it has not come to fruition. USA have not fired a shot in attack. Defensively, they've been fantastic, but on attack in the pack, not done. Not done the job at all. English fans, even they're being pretty docile by English standards. 31 points to 0. We're over the 1 hour mark. And how many more tries will we see here? 63 gone, 31-0 is the score. And a bit of a somber crowd, I think. I think maybe many people were expecting a bit more excitement from England, a bit more open play, I guess you could say. But really, the USA have been all over this. Wow, look at those stats. Tackles made, 122 by USA, 39 by England, and missed about 28-7. Wow, that is crazy talk. That just goes to show USA, as well as not having the ball, they have just not been in this game at all. They've not held it for phases. They've not put plays together. They have just not pushed England in attack. Now, if USA could have put some attack together, we could have had a game on our hands. But the fact they've defended really well, sadly, they've just not put that attention into their attack. I guess we look at the other games. There's probably a good chance that they could really push it against the other minnow sides in their pool. Tonga, USA, probably be a good match. How will their attack fare then will be the interesting point. Scrum finally comes out. This USA have the ball and McKenzie kicks it away. I mean, how long do you keep doing this before you say, let's just have a go? If we concede another 3 tries, who really cares? Daly runs it back and Marcel Braki takes him down. Just inside the USA half, it's a bit messy, the breakdown. There's players and bodies going everywhere. The ball's starting to come out and USA do come up quickly in defence and take down that first wave of English attack. Ford, miss pass there to Sinclair, who offloads the tackle to Farrell. Now, here's Anthony Watson in the game. Watson running. Watson going through a half gap, but taken down by 2 defenders. Young's forward pass. Come on, man. He has been dishing them out all half long. The referee not interested in that either. Short one. Curry finding the ball from Farrell. Again, Young's left side is all a bit broken, but they get away with it as, Daly's tried to put a little grubber kick through. It's come straight off the defender and bobbled free. England hang on to it though. Gensch, here's Ford running. Ford, he's putting a good tackle there. Daly just recovers. The ball's been knocked off there as the pass through Teo has gone back. It's play on. Joseph, the defender's been blocked there, blatantly. Definitely, as Joseph goes into half line and he's kicked him field. The chase is coming in for USA. Great defence at the back there. George Ford was rumbling towards the line. It all got a bit messy there as everyone was expecting play to be stopped, but it went on. And Joseph made play of it as well. Jinking around before finally he put in a kick in field and almost went straight to George Ford, but just stopped in time. And sad as this is, De Haas is going to kick this away. The box kick coming in. One phase of attack, and they've kicked it straight down the throat of Daly. Fires it in to Farrell. Running. The cut played by Singer, who's run into, again, 2 of his own players. How is that not, what do they call it, truck and trailer or shepherding of your own player? Inside it goes with Ludlam on the left-hand side. Tries to break through the tackle. Youngs to Curry, puts the head down and charges into a couple of defenders, takes them out. Quick pick and go from Gensch again. He offloads to Youngs, now out into the big man in the second row, and it's George Cruz who has another go. Youngs holds it up. He's pretty nice there. He waited for Laundry to get out of the way to put their pass away, and they charged their way into the 22. Youngs again, and Curry having another run, and Curry breaks the tackle. Offloads in the tackle as well. Gets the way to Ford. Running. Left side. Ludlam will score. And it will be another try for England. Quick ball. Offloading in the tackle. And Lewis Ludlam gets himself an English try. The crowd wake up somewhat. And we've got another try. Ford was looking pretty good there. Well, agree with what the commentary team is saying. That broken play, the offload from Curry in the tackle, that made it. The USA defence couldn't shift across enough. The wide defenders came into cover, and of course that left their outsides wide open. And Lewis Ludlam is the scorer on that occasion. Let's get another try going in there. We're quickly pushing the other stats out. Ludlam with the try. And let's see if we can get another conversion. Oh, not 65, just 6. And I presume it's going to be Ford who will continue the kicking duties. Now, let's see if USA charge. It's probably been the most positive thing that they've got out of this match is the fact that they've charged the kicks and they've made a decent effort of it so far. He's 3 out of 5 is George Ford. And he's nailed some from all over the show, but it's the charging that has really put him under the pressure. And teams will be noticing this later on in the competition as well. You can guarantee the likes of France will be all over that. Looks like they do want to charge as well. You see 2 of them teed up there for USA. Left side, it's about 15 in from touch. He takes that little step, which gives him that real early start. There it is. Johnning, charging. He's got to hurry. And again, it puts pressure on, but not quite enough. He does rush that last little piece of his run-up. Does Ford. But that one is good. Too good, in fact. And another 2 points to the scoreline. Scoreline up to 38 points to 0. Yeah. It's getting that much of a blowout. It really is. The English fans loving it. We're almost 70 minutes gone. So, 69, let's go with that because it's always a good expressive numbers. USA have got the kickoff back, and what a run here! Into within 5 meters. Oh, that is so disappointing. It's not your penalty, USA. It's not your penalty. Oh, that is really disappointing to see the English player over the ball at the breakdown and 3 Americans standing there watching him with his hands on the ball, on his feet, and not securing the ball. And in the end, it's been knocked on anyway. England's taken it quickly, and they've knocked it on. Now there's a punch-up. Here we go. It's getting real vicious in there. It's a bit more than handbags. The ball is gone. There's about 20 players here, all getting in the biffo. And the referee is getting assistance from upstairs. What has sparked this? Very interesting. We'll go back. The kickoff, well taken from Blaine Scully, who was rocketing down the wing. Took it. He beat about 3 defenders, got within 5 meters, and then USA did not protect their ball carrier. Like I was saying, 3 players watching the breakdown, 1 defender there, and he was getting dominated by the English player. Didn't catch who it was exactly. That is pretty poor. Help out the guy with the ball. Clean that breakdown out. England have taken it quickly, and Ford's fired away to Farrell, who's just spilt the ball. He's lost his balance, and he's probably going to get smashed for his... Oh, dear. We've seen a shoulder charge from John Quill and a head clash on Owen Farrell. This looks like we're going to be filling out that yellow card column for the USA. It's pointless here from Quill. He's knocked the ball on. You're going to get it. Why would you do this? Maybe you're pissed off. Okay, sure, but why? You're going to get a scrum inside their 22. You could score a try. You haven't done it for the whole match so far. Why do something stupid like this now? And the way this has been as well. John Quill, see you later. That's your tournament over. Shoulder charge, contact with the head. Goodbye, good night. Thanks for coming. Let's go straight away here. Yellow card. Is it? I thought it was Quill. It's number 7. What are they talking about number 6? First red, says Andres. Well, let's see. Potentially, could be. It was a terrible tackle. You've already won the ball. It's so irrelevant. It's so stupid. Either way, are they gonna send off? Oh, sorry, Scully, but he said he's trying to pull out of it. I don't buy that at all. Quill is gone. Oh, it's a red card! Well played, Andres. You're probably ahead of me at the time, so you probably knew. But we have our first red card of the tournament. That is interesting. Now, did you think there was going to be a red card before it was a red card? That's the question I have for you. Welcome along, Chief. Good to see you. Red card that is the first red card of the tournament. And after all the talk, let's go back to what we were saying at the start when we had a little chat about Reece Hodge. Oh, all that talk. The referees are not being hard enough and not clamping down enough on this stuff. If your boss tells you you're not doing this properly, what are you going to do? You're going to do it more evidently. You're going to physically say, and target that, aren't you? You're going to target that and say, we've got to hammer this. And really, USA, John Quill, you absolute idiot. That is an absolute shocker. Let's bring this up a slight piece as well, so we can get some work on the left-hand side. We'll get some Quill up there so you can actually see what's going on. We're back underway. However, USA are defending again with the red card. They're a man down. They've lost their back rower. There's still 10 minutes to play, and it is all going to pot for the Americans. Yeah, 100% agree, Andres. What we were just saying before. After all the talk about the referees not being strict enough, Anthony Watson is making a big break here. He's cutting through the middle of the USA defense. Oh, man, they are really not going well here, USA. Big hit once again. Didn't look like many arms in there. Now a knock on the tackle from the USA. Advantage to England. Little kick through there from Farrell. Chasing hard left inside. Could be another try. Sliding in. Oh, fucking his singer's lost it. Oh, he could do everything wrong there. He wanted to, but he's made a complete balls up of it. Time to turn the screws. Screws? Time to turn the screws, says Wingola. And the screws were about to be tightened there by fucking a singer down the left-hand wing. A very good kick. I question whether he should have just dived on it like that, though. Anthony Watson, great run there. Oh, again, Teo going in off the shoulder. Really dangerous, a stupid thing to be doing. Regardless he gets away with it, it's all right. We play on. Farrell puts in a little chip rubber through. It sits up at none at all. It doesn't sit up at all, but it's perfectly weighted. And Singer tried to slide in on it and slide over the line. Good tackle coming in from 24, which I presume is Bryce Campbell, because, of course, there's no 24s on there, so someone's got a new jersey. And the impact of the tackle dislodges the ball out the back, and it is a knock on. Goodness gracious. Great kick, though, from Farrell. You've got to give him credit for that. The Red Bull's running low. Need a top up. Red Bull, send me a box, please. These World Cup late nights are not doing well for the sleeping patterns. We are ticking away, not only 72 minutes into the game, but it is also, let's update the time while I say that, 72 minutes in. It is also 12:30 in the morning here, so I apologise, neighbours, but go get stuffed. The World Cup's on, and you can deal with it. USA, surprise, surprise, set up out of the scrum, and they box kick down, and it's only to the 10-metre line. Fired in, and here's Elliot Daly. Oh, dodgy pass to Farrell, who does very well to hang on. Watson slips as he jinks and drives his way to the 10-metre line, spins in the tackle and sets it nicely for Youngs, who tries to run through, but taken from McGinty, who's putting in a shift here for the States. Charging on the line, England running in it. There's Singleton, who is on the field now as well. Farrell should have hung on to that. He delivered a little short pass mid-tackle, and he went through himself. Watson plays scrum half and passes it to absolutely no one. Oh, the ball's been dropped here from Courtney Laws. And almost kicked through from the USA, but comes off an English defender. Yes, great comment. Had to laugh there, Andreas. You're dead right. Farrell deserved that tackle. He always tackles others like that, but he walks free. Spot on. Comment of the day right there. Owen Farrell, if anyone deserves a shoulder to the head, it's probably him. And I mean, there's probably a few people who would be quite happy to see that as well. But it was silly. I mean, do it in open play at least, so that it's a good point to make a tackle when you've already got advantage for the knock on. The game's already stopping. It was silly. It was really silly. It was frustration from the USA, who have come to this thinking we can push England. They've not done that at all. And frustration, annoyed. He's unhappy, and that is the coach of the USA, Gary Gold, really not happy. So, not been good. Cuban Pete says, yeah, red was worth it. Love seeing Farrell getting smashed. Well, I can't argue with that, Cuban Pete. Cannot argue with that at all. He's probably one of the most likely to get smashed in a unnecessary situation. But to be fair, John Quill, I mean, how long is he going to be out for now? He's going to go, and are they going to say, yes, fair enough, you got punished enough for getting a red card? Or does he get another match? Does he get another couple of matches? I mean, this could be fairly his tournament over. And that's hurts for a team like the USA. Their short scrum has actually worked very, very well, USA, as they feed it through the backs as Mike Teo takes on the pass from Marcelo Bracchi, and they set it up inside England's half. Everything goes out the window, says the Chief, when it comes to World Cup time. Even sleeping patterns. Great energy, bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. The Chief is the USA. Almost do something down the right-hand wing. As Bracchi, who is such a key player for the USA, is stretching the old legs. He looks like he might take a bit of a knock there, trying to regather that little grubber kick through, which has worked on a rare attacking occasion for the USA. I mean, they have not been in the English half much. The territory stats are heavily against them, and now England are going back to the basics. There's two USA players on the English side of this maul. I don't know what on earth they are contributing. As it's off the back, and one little run here away from Gens, I think it is. He's trundling down the when bulldozes one, bulldozes two. Gens down to the 22. What a run from the big man. Now it goes to fucking Singer. Beats one man, puts on the wheels, and carries Mike Teo over. What a try for England. But how about that run from Alice Gens? That was outstanding. 2 tries for fucking a singer, and that was special. Unbelievable stuff. That puts them in the 40s. Outstanding work. Now, if you're not able to watch the game, take a check out of this run from Gens. He in and outed the first defender. He bulldozed over the top. Remarkable work of Blaine Scully. Then he went straight over the top of Campbell as well. And then it was their final defender. Just did it. Then fucking a singer put on the step. Slipped over one defender. Mike Teo jumped on his back. And he just carried him over. Just carried him over. Too easy. And finally, a little bit of continuity here for England. As let's get the scorers up to date. It is fucking a singer with his second try. And the conversion is over from forward. So 5 from 7 for him. And we can add another couple of points to the tally of England. That'll go up to 45 points to 0. I think the 0 is what's going to hurt them the most. Couldn't agree more, Chief. That was a really good try. 77 minutes are up. And England, well, they were cruising at half-time. They are dominating now at full-time. The ball squirted out the back of the kick-off, and that was a little bit of a juggle there. As they hang on, still inside 22. They're going to kick here. They set up for it. And the box kick comes in from Youngs. High, team-meter line. England half, and a mistake and a collision. It's all turning a bit pear-shaped as Ludlam gets it away to Wilson, who puts the burners on. He's got men left and right, but he can't quite do it. And yes, the referee has pulled it up, like the Chief says. Big, big injury, looks like, for the USA player in that collision. He is out. Ice cold. I mean, you got to feel sorry. I mean, if this was a close game, that could have been a controversial decision because it looked like England were in it again. But Berry has stopped the game. That player went down in an absolute heap. He went high for the ball. He didn't claim it, but a little bit of contact on his way down, and he's gone down in an absolute heap. A big heap as well. The ball quickly deposited away from his position, and he's on la-la land. He is in pain. Oh, their leg is chomping around. He does not look good. George Ford, in other news, has been named player of the game. I don't know if I quite agree with that. But who else would you really give it to? I look at that forward pack that has really dominated. I think that's where I'd give it to someone in there. Ford's been good, but I think USA have done a good job at shutting down their options. The starters in the pack, I like what Ludlam's done. He's been quite effective. Curry's been good in pieces as well. No one's really dominated the game. Cowan Dickey was very good when he come on as well. Genge has been amazing when he's come on in the second half. We've only got a couple of minutes to go, and it looks like it might be a long stoppage here for the injury. We'll update the time for the last couple of minutes here. 78 minutes gone. The game is done. It's long over, 45 points to 0, as you can see. But what has been a good defensive effort for the first 40-50 minutes by USA. But overall, really, really poor from their attack. Well, Ford, man of the match. The scrum has been amazing. And you've got to feel sorry for the USA player. You've got to imagine it's someone like Hooley who was back there. Will we find out who it is? He's getting stretched off as we speak. Goodness me, he can't even put his legs up on the stretcher. Big injury for USA. Another one. I mean, they've lost at least one prop, if not two props. And now they've lost Quill to the red card as well. Potentially, he could be out for more. Ford, well, I guess it's hard to really argue anyone else for man of the match. I want to see that high ball. That's really what I'd like to see. The player went up and come down in a big, big way. England dominant, so they will clean this one up. Potentially a tough match for them. Potentially, it could have been a bit of a banana skin. They come full time. It has been anything but for the English, who have looked, I wouldn't say impressive. I'm interested on everyone else's thoughts on that. How do you rate England's performance? Steady, solid, I guess, but not spectacular. Backline play, when they have to really step it up against a good pack, is what I'm interested to see. I imagine they are holding a lot back in the bank for later on in the tournament, as the good teams are. I feel sorry for the USA. Big game to start their tournaments. They would have been targeting some matches later on, as here we see the player making his way off. He's thumbs upping the crowd, which is good to see, because no one likes to see a big injury. Ludlam giving him a bit of a pat on the head. Well, probably not the head. That wouldn't be the best place. A pat on the shoulder. Poor guy, as he makes his way off. Japanese fans of the crowd. A Munster shirt in the crowd. It is Will Hooley. So Asifo will come back on to replace him for the rest of the game of fullback. Poor Will, he's taken a hammering, hasn't he? He's had a lot of ball going his way. He's been fairly steady. I think he's had a decent match, but he has been bulldozed. I mean, just that last try, the big run from Genge, rumbling straight over the top of him. Wangola says, Thogana Singer, a player to watch later on in the tournament. Certainly, how much game will he play? Who are their best first choice wingers? I mean, they've got some good depth there, some good exciting players, some probably quite versatile players as well. We are back underway in a dominant scrum by England. A penalty going their way. Just run it. I mean, the English scrum has dominated. Oh, what a play here by the English as they cut it back inside off Ford. And Elliot Daly is being stripped in the middle of the field. But he holds on to the ball as they rumbled in. Singleton with the play now. Here's Ford running forward at the line. Sinclair! Oh, he's dropped it. Oh, what a shame. It was such a good run from Sinclair. Such a good line. Such a good ball as well. Chief. Oh, my God, Chief. Don't even go there, my son. That would be... I mean, get me on the plane right now. If someone wants to pay me something to go do something in Japan right now, I mean, I don't need a bag. I've got a shirt on. Let's go. I'm ready to go. Drinking Heineken. Oh, man. What do I do for a Heineken? Right, I've got to settle for water. And even the Red Bull to keep me awake in these late stages ain't doing the trick. It's empty. None left, Red Bull. That's all right. We've only got a minute to go. We are 79 minutes through the game. Heineken sounds so good right now. I would love to be at the Rugby World Cup. The atmosphere, the rugby, the game, everything is just brilliant as USA try to run something out. Marcel Braki gets them out of the 22. And finally, are they going to run? They should have done this about 30 minutes ago. Here's Teo running, scragging his way through defenders and tackles. He's still going. What's a little run here from Teo? Gets his pants down as well as for the effort. Good little run there from him. USA charging out. Anyone want to take me and the Chief to Japan? We'll do something for you. I don't know. Just get us some Heinekens in the rugby and we'll be happy. They swing it away. Teo again. Big space for Teo. Cut straight through. Beats him off a pace. Oh, the inside ball. Finding his support. And it's gone astray. The big chance wasted. De Haas couldn't hang on. Whakarasinga, what an offload there. And they swing it away to the right-hand side. Here's Anthony Watson looking to go on the outside. Steps in. Just about gets away again on a loose pass. Referee almost in the way. McGinty picks up. The counter-attack's back on again. Sifo gives it to no one. 80 minutes is up. Just kick it out. It's already pain over. Daly wants to play. He's like, I've hardly touched the ball. Give me a run, boys. And he takes it up into contact. He was supposed to kick it out. You saw Farrell gave it to him and said, go to the sidelines. But now they keep on playing. Farrell to Ford, through to Watson. USA really don't want to play anymore. Watson coming in and out. Support's there as well from Youngs. Into their half they go in a turnover. Great play there. USA pick and go. Asefo stepping them, leaving them for dust. Support's there, and it will be a runaway try with it. USA have the chance. De Haas inside. Outside he goes. Support over the top. It's terrible. It just dies, and it's fallen away. What do we got? Are we playing on? The referee doesn't know what's going on. The players have no idea. They go into midfield now. One-off run. USA with that last chance grasp now. We've got maybe a try to the USA. Oh, it's been stripped. It's gone loose. Someone pick it up. No one's picked it up. Have we got a turnover here? USA's over the ball. It's back to McGinty. Asefo can't handle it. Give it out. Score a try, good boys. They do it. USA are over. Celebrating the great try for USA. They get the reward. They've scored themselves some points. USA get the try. Bryce Campbell scores. Let's do it. Let's do it, everyone. Finally, we've been waiting all game long to put something on that side, this side, the right-hand side. Finally, we can do it. USA have scored, and we have some points. Let's give them a scorer. Bryce Campbell the try. Ah, that is great to see. We can get it finally. We can get some happiness going on in the USA fans. McGinty with a conversion. 1 from 1. That'll give them 7. And that is full time. Well done, USA. You've not had the day at all today, but you have scored yourself a try. 45-7. That was a frantic last stanza of the game. Wow. Chief, loved it. Absolutely loved it. USA try, baby. Yes, the Americans are in. Thanks for stopping by, Northern 1639. Nice commentary, appreciated. Randomly stumbled on. Thanks for randomly stumbling by. Hope you're enjoying the stream as we watch the game through here. We'll be doing it all through as well, so if you enjoy it, do hit that subscribe button because every time I go live, you can be notified. Also, check out Twitter as well because we'll be going on there as to what's going on. Now, questions for Paul. Anyone got questions for Paul? Leave them in the chat now. We'll have a chat to him. He is dialing on in nice and early. Paul, you're back again. Let's switch you across there. Welcome back to the show, Paul.
What was going on at the end there?
What was going on where? We're hyped. USA scored a try. Yes. Pumped.
They did score a try. God, it was some crazy play. Why do teams keep playing when the game's won? You've got the try bonus point. Just kick it off. Seriously, all you're going to do is get someone injured. and there was nothing on. There was nothing there for England's game. Anyway, they played on, and well done to Wales. Well done to Wales. Well done, well done to the USA for playing for the full 82 what it was minutes, and actually and getting a try. So good, and the whole great feel good factor to finish the game on. The whole crowd erupted, and they had a great time.
It's been pretty much a theme of this whole game, hasn't it? USA just not finishing their chances. Something breaks down. No one really knows what's going on. I kind of felt sorry for Nick Berry in some situations where, was it knocked on? Who's it come off? But then the other team's knocked it on as well. Whose penalty is it going to be? Is it a scrum to that team or this team? The players stop and look at him. He's kind of looking at the players to find out what's going on. That last try, or that last stanza before the try, was pretty much the ultimate example of that. I think half of England were like, just blow the whistle, ref, and get it over with. Ford was throwing it back to Farrell, or someone who was standing way back to kick it out, or Daly it was, and then he runs it. I mean, half the team was like, let's get us out of here, boys. But the ref just let it go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great finish. Some really. So we've had our first red card of the tournament, so you'll be happy. The card counters started ticking over. And as soon as you saw it, it's kind of like, with all that's been going on over the last 3, 4, 5 days, where it's been, he has to give a red for that. Tuck shoulder, hit the head. It was an obvious call for him to make. And so unsurprised by that. But really got a feel for Will Hooley. When they don't show a replay of the injury, it's bad.
Yeah.
And I saw that straight away and thought, ooh, that doesn't look good. And they So I hope he's okay, because that's that. I'm guessing that's 2 players the USA have lost for the tournament. And as I say, if they don't show it, it's generally not nice.
Yeah, we'll talk about their injuries, I guess, in a second. But I mean, we might as well talk about that red card. Yeah, a lot of questions, or not a lot of questions, but a lot of statements come through the chat at that time. You might find them interesting. Of course, Andres going on about, after all the talk about the media from World Rugby, about the referees not being harsh enough, about the tackles, high tackles, that sort of stuff. That was always going to be a red card. But the also interesting thing that I did want to relay to you, a few comments in here saying the red card was worth it. It's always great to see Owen Farrell smashed. If there's anyone that deserves a tackle like that, it's Owen Farrell. Quite a few comments like that. So the people were quite happy for the commitment that John Quill put into that tackle on Farrell. Yeah,
I saw a nice tweet with the irony meter going off in a GIF. Let's be honest, I guess. Farrell is one of those Marmite characters, right? That everyone that loves to hate. So, unsurprising that's kind of the response. I did see a couple of tweets going, "Oh yeah, look, as soon as it was against England, they follow the process." It's like no, they're following the process because World Rugby came out and said, "Right, boys, you have not been following the process. Follow the process." It's got nothing to do with the fact that it's against England. It's the first or the second game since they made that announcement and said that they weren't happy with how the refereeing was going, and you knew that the next person who got themselves in that situation was going to go. Very clear he was going to go.
It's that analogy we use during the game. It's any job. If your boss comes to you and says, "Hey, you're not doing this aspect of your job very well," and you obviously want to keep your job, what do you target? What do you make sure you nail the next opportunity you have? If you're not doing point A right, that is going to be your target at the next point. So, I mean, you're right. As soon as that's an example. Reece Hodge, I think, is an example as well, because he was that first guy pretty much to go to the judiciary. That spotlight was on him. Make an example of him. Everyone's got to follow suit. Now, Quill has followed the second charge, and he's another example they're going to go through. Will they keep it up for the rest of the tournament? I guess we'll see over the rest of a few weeks, won't we?
Well, actually, as you say, Hodge got a 6-week ban halved because he because of something or other. I haven't read it entirely, but the normal mitigating circumstances of he's a very nice person. He didn't eat the biscuits and these sort of things. You've got to say, actually, that's going to be a 3-week ban as well. So that's 3 players the USA have lost in this game for the rest of the tournament, in their first game of the tournament.
Well, at least, isn't it? Because Lamasatili went off as well. I don't know, he kind of looked injured, but kind of not, so it's going to be interesting to see how he comes on later on. Of course, like I say, Hurley's gone off, and he doesn't look like he's going to be very good as well. So a lot of question marks around those injuries for them. On the other side of things, England, I guess, unscathed. They got the big guy off, and Vunipola went off straight at half-time, didn't they? Everyone in a white shirt went, phew, he's gone, finally. We can breathe a sigh of relief. And they decked the bench. They chucked everyone out there. They threw everyone on, and we did get a bit more of that expensive play that we were hoping for at half-time, weren't we? They did kind of throw the ball around a bit more as the game wore on.
Yeah, and when I was a bit surprised to see Farrell come on, to be honest. But once you got the two main playmakers on in Ford and Farrell, it's going to get wide. Let's be honest. That's kind of what happened. So yeah, so Piers Francis obviously got hooked for, as I say, trying too hard and not playing with everyone else. So he got hooked. Actually, Watson came on. It's good to see him back. He's obviously had a lot of injuries, and again was showing some of the stuff he can do. He's become sort of that forgotten man of English rugby because he has been so injured for the past year, 2 years. So no, it's good to see him back and running around. And obviously, Cockney got 2 tries. So so my bet has paid out. It's fantastic. $2.44. I'm 44 cents richer. And also McConaughey also got a try as well. So I thought about putting some money on him, but then I noticed he's not, even for a sevens player, he's not a prolific scorer. So for Bath, so it was good to see him get a try on what is his second game or something silly for England. Yep,
they did. They got some points out there. They got some runs through. Overall, I mean, USA. The tournament looks, I think, almost in tatters now, doesn't it? I mean, looking forward.
Who, sorry?
For the Americans.
Oh, for the Americans, it's yeah. They're going to have to fly out at least 2 players to replace them, and let's be honest, they don't have the depth to replace them. I had them down as a potential upset of Argentina because Argentina play England and then play USA 4 days later. So. But they're going to need a much better scrum. I mean, admittedly, the Argentinian scrum is not one of their strengths at scrummaging. So they're not going to get destroyed like they did here, like the forwards did. So in that kind of sense. But yeah, we need to see a lot more out of them to see them challenging them. Tonga's an interesting one because I think they can't remember whether they faced Tonga during the Pacific Nations Cup or not. But that's a team you'd expect them to beat, to be honest. With their recent performances, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
They don't play their next game till the 2nd of October, so they've got about 5 days in between. I'm looking at the calendar, but today's actually technically still the 26th, isn't it? So for us here in New Zealand, it's about 1 a.m., so it's technically the 27th. So they got today and through to the 2nd, so 3, 4, 6 days to the next game. Give them a good chance to recover, but that's France. And then the 9th, they've got Argentina, and the 13th is Tonga. Those last 2 games certainly, I think, will be the ones, especially Tonga. They want to go home with a win at least against Tonga. I think they've got to target that one.
You think, well, it's one of those things that, do you target the Argentina one and go for a tier 1 scalp? Because, as I say, Argentina would have played England 4 days earlier. So they're on a really short turnaround. So that's the USA's best chance of beating the Pumas. Now, if they do that, though, they will not be able to turn around in 4 days and beat Tonga.
Yeah.
That's their problem, is that they can't win both those games, I don't think. But, so which game do you go for? Do you put out your second string side against Argentina, or do you really go for it? I don't know.
The other side of things is for the Tongans as well. I'm just looking at what they're... So they play Argentina on the 28th, which is in 2 days, technically, as far as the calendar goes. And then they got a big break until the 6th of October where they play France, and then USA obviously last. So... it depends how they come out. I mean, they've only got that's about 7-day-a-week turnaround between France and the USA, so they've got a good little break between their games as well. So they could be quite well and fresh for the taking. Got a comment from the Chief here about Ford playing well, man of the match performance. What did you make of him?
Yeah, he did exactly what he does when he's behind a strong pack. He plays really, really well. when he has front football. And yeah, he took it to the line nicely. He obviously had a really good kicking game in that first half. Obviously picked up his try as well. Missed a few conversions. His goal kicking wasn't was a bit dodge, but yeah, did exactly what he does in that situation. But he's not going to get that armchair ride again.
No, I think the big thing that was his kicking, the charge downs, just completely bamboozled him. I think he just rushed that last little piece of his kick and just threw him off completely. And I know it's a big difference. They didn't charge those ones from the sideline down, and he just smoked them straight between the sticks. The easy ones they did charge, or run at, he bombed. So quite interesting. I think a lot of teams will be watching that in the future as well. And you might see quite a few wingers chasing up the kicks.
Yeah, he's very much a confidence player. He's one of those confidence kickers. Once his starts go wrong, yeah. He's someone that people can. He's definitely a player you can get at. But you need to be able to have. If you put on back football and start smashing him, yeah, he goes into a shell bit quickly.
Alrighty, it's 45 points to 7, full-time score. The USA going down in a big way to England. Any final thoughts? I wouldn't have given man of the match to George Ford. I would have given it to one of the forwards. I think they were pretty dominant. I couldn't quite pick who because they're all quite good, but no one really stood out. I thought Alice Gensch come off the bench was fantastic. If we're going to pick on a bench player, but yeah, team like Ludlam, Curry, Cowan Dickey, I thought was pretty good around the field as well. Would have been probably the picks of mine out of those guys come through. Who would you name man of the match?
Ludlam was one that the commentators mentioned. It was interesting commentary, wasn't it, from the world feed? But Launchbury, another good player.
Certainly was.
I thought he did well.
Well, that pretty much does me. Anything else you want to add from the game?
No, I guess just that. Yeah, we've only had one upset all in the tournament so far. We're having some really good games, but it's becoming a pretty predictable Rugby World Cup, and I think we can. It's there's probably, as you say, this weekend we got Wales, Australia, Wales, which will be an interesting one. And then we've got the France, England, Argentina, England, and those maybe Japan, Scotland, but those are pretty much the interesting games from now on, as far as qualifications is concerned.
Yeah, it would be nice if we seen like those early games where we seen a fight back from the teams like Italy and Namibia. They scored 20-odd points. That was good to see for the Namibians. Just when you get a bit of a match-up, the lesser team scoring a few tries, making a bit of a game of it for half an hour, 40 minutes or so, make it interesting. I hope we just get to see that from the minnows for the rest of the competition. Make it interesting, make it nice. When you get a big blowout like this, kind of makes it a bit hard for them. You do feel a bit sorry for them, but it's good to see them scoring points. I mean, have we seen a nil yet? I'm just scanning through. I think the lowest we've seen was 3 by Scotland. Oh, and by Tonga against England. That's been the lowest. So, I mean, at least we're not getting nils. So that's always a positive. It's amazing Scotland, eh? One of only, I read one of only 3 sides or 4 sides to not score a try in the tournament so far. So they'll be looking to rectify that when they play next. But yeah, that has been done. That is nice and easy. Stream done, 1 a.m. I think it's time for bed. That's all I can say.
Yes, absolutely. Good night.
Thanks for joining us, Paul. If anyone wants to go check out Paul, at Driving Maul on Twitter or on YouTube, of course, is there as well. And the website, all in the same name. So you can go check out Paul everywhere and anywhere. He's got lots of videos about the World Cup, lots of articles, picks, predictions, all sorts of good stuff. So go check out that as well. And on my side of things, everything that's been scrolling on the bottom of the page for the last, 2 hours or so, is pretty much everything. Go check out the website, behindthepost.com. Check out the channel. All the videos going on there as well. Go check out Discord. Go check out ways you can support the channel on Patreon.
You're on Discord?
Anything like yes, we've got Discord. The link, the description has the link. You can come join Paul and discuss rugby with all the people that are in there already, which we have quite a few people in there. So come join that discussion as well. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching rugby. Hope you enjoyed England putting the romping on USA. And I will see everyone tomorrow, even you, Paul, because we are going to be doing Japan versus Ireland. So that's the big one I'm going to be picking on. I think that's going to be the interesting matchup. Argentina-Tonga would have been all right to do as well, but I like the hosts. I like the crowd, like the support, so we're going to go with the host team to put in a big performance. But that is us for today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming by, Chief. Good to have a chat with you as well in the chat, and we will see you all tomorrow at about 7 o'clock, I think, my time, for Japan versus Ireland. Until then, thanks for watching, and as always, take care. We'll see you then.